In this lesson, you'll learn how to use the Android WebView feature to display an HTML5 web page, and you'll learn about some of the capabilities of HTML5. HTML5 is the latest improvement in the markup language for structuring and presenting content on the World Wide Web and is the successor to HTML4. A complete exploration of HTML5 is outside the scope of this course. For a more complete understanding of HTML5, Infinite Skills offers a number of HTML5 courses. On the Infinite Skills website, shown here, we'll search on HTML5. And we see a number of options. For some HTML5 features, JavaScript is required. Infinite Skills also offers a JavaScript course, so if we search on JavaScript, we see it come up. In this lesson, we're going to focus on some code examples and look at using HTML5 from an Android app. We'll use the WebView HTML5 app included in the Working Files Eclipse workspace. First, let's fire it up in the emulator. We'll highlight the package name and click the Debug button. Select Android application. We see an instruction to click the link, so we'll click. And we get a graphic of an orbiting planet around the sun. This is created using the Canvas feature of HTML5. The Canvas feature allows you to create a bitmap graphic using JavaScript code embedded in your web page HTML. So the animation you see here is not generated using the Android animation capabilities we studied in our lesson on animation. It's generated by JavaScript code that resides on the server inside the web page definition and was loaded into our emulator when we clicked on the orbiting planet link. Let's take a look at the Java code in our Android app. In the source folder, we'll open main activity. Now, this is basically the same code we used in our lesson on WebView using the WebView app, so please review that lesson if you need to. Now let's take a look at the one statement that's different from that sample app. Line 35 loads the web page of the orbiting planet instead of line 34 that loaded the Don Cowan website that we looked at in the previous lesson. The reason I stored the HTML5 samples on the marketimpacts.com website is so that I can show them without the surrounding HTML code that formats the pages, as you saw in the WebView lesson. It's a difference in the hosting servers. Now let's take a look at the JavaScript and HTML code that generated the animation. There's a link to this demo and code on my website, donkcowan.com, and the home page is shown here. To get to the code, under Publications, click on HTML5 Canvas for Dummies. And when I wrote this book, I included links to all the sample code on this web page. And there are some 40 examples, and you can explore these samples to see more of what's possible with HTML5 Canvas. For example, if we click on the fireworks display, this app shows how you can use a variety of JavaScript techniques to produce some interesting results. For example, it uses a large number of variables set with random values within specified ranges to increase the variety and realism of the fireworks display. It also simulates real-world forces like acceleration, friction, momentum, and gravity in the behavior of the fireworks particles. The sample we're using in the WebView demo is 603, creating oscillating elliptical motion. And to access the code, you can click here to download it. See, it's downloading. Or you can click here to view it directly on a web page, and let's do that. And let's look at the display alongside of our emulator. And notice a couple of things. First, the orbiting planet in the emulator is moving more slowly than the planet on the desktop PC version over here. On a real mobile device, you're also likely to see JavaScript animations running more slowly than on desktop PC browsers due to the slower speeds on mobile devices. Second, you may have noticed that the emulator version is not moving as smoothly. You see it just paused. Now it started up again. It's not moving as smoothly as the desktop version. This is really caused by the emulator. If you viewed the simulation on a phone, it would still be moving more slowly than the desktop, but much more smoothly. Now let's look at HTML5 code to display a canvas. In the working files, there's a file named canvas_display.htm. It displays a web page with a canvas area, shown here, which contains the name of the web page, canvas_display.htm. If you want to follow along, open this file using your browser. You can do this by clicking on it in your File Explorer. You should see the display shown here. Now right-click on the web page and click View Page Source. This code shows a simple pattern of HTML and JavaScript code to display an HTML5 canvas. It demonstrates the basics of how the web page fits together so you can understand the interplay between HTML5, JavaScript, and your Android apps. Note that the code for this HTML5 app will run on any fixed or mobile device that supports HTML5. Thus, you can leverage HTML5 and JavaScript code in your Android app without rewriting it for different platforms. But let's go through the code. Line 1 defines an HTML document using the doctype tag. Lines 3 through 22 define the header of the web page document. Lines 4 through 21 define the code script area. Lines 7 through 20 contain the JavaScript code. And note that the JavaScript code is contained inside the web page header and within the script tags. Line 7 defines the function that's invoked when the web page is loaded by the browser. Lines 8 through 20 are the body of that function and include our JavaScript code. Line 10 defines a canvas variable that links to the HTML canvas definition below using the ID canvas area. Line 11 defines a context for the canvas, and the context is used in subsequent code, such as lines 17 through 19, to apply attributes to the canvas and to draw on it. Lines 14 through 18 define variables and attributes for the canvas display. Line 19 does the actual drawing on the canvas using the fill text function. This is just one of many types of functions that can be used to draw on the canvas. Lines 23 through 34 define the body of the HTML page display. Lines 25 and 26 define a division of the web page that encloses the canvas. Lines 28 through 32 define the canvas area within the browser window using RID canvas area. Lines 29 and 30 define the characteristics of the canvas. Line 31 defines text that's displayed if the user's browser doesn't support HTML5. That completes our lesson on HTML5, a powerful resource for your Android development toolkit.